My first exposure to the Sniper Elite series was the Zombie Army trilogy of games, so I thought now was the time to dive into the origin of this series. It actually started on the PS2, but this is the version that was ported to the Wii 5 years later. So here's the original Sniper Elite for the Nintendo Wii. Set during the final month of World War II, you play as Karl Fairburn, an American born on a US military base in Germany who gets recruited by the OSS as an adult because of his understanding of Germany since he grew up in Berlin. As the Soviet army wages its invasion into the heart of Germany and is weeks away from taking Berlin, Karl is set deep into the thick of the fight in order to stop the Soviets from taking Germany's nuclear weapons data and equipment. In short, Karl is supposed to fight the Cold War before the term is officially used 2 years later. It's an interesting war story that's different from most World War II stories, and even though it's historical fiction, it also taps into other details about the war that aren't usually taught in schools, such as there being an anti-fascist German resistance that sabotaged and fought the Nazis, something perhaps more people should know about. Now visually, it's not great news for this game. As I said, this is actually a port of the original PS2 game. The Wii version very much looks like a PS2 game, and that's not a compliment. Yes, this is set in war-torn 1940s Germany, which is well presented with all the explosion holes in the streets, debris everywhere, drab colors, and buildings bombed, but it's all shown with muddy textures, blocky characters, poorly made blood effects, and stiff animations that already looked outdated in 2010 when this port came out. Honestly, I've seen World War II shooters on the GameCube from 2004 that look better than this. The best visual effect is a slow-mo bullet, which admittedly still looks cool, and it's fascinating to see where the series staple started. That all being said, the sound design is better, though not great. There's decent voice acting from our lead, as well as the German and Russian NPCs. There's not much music in the game, but the music that is here is well composed. The sound effects are the best part of the audio, with hard-hitting, fun sounds and powerful explosion effects, and finally that sound for the slow-mo bullet effects adds some real impact. Ooh! While Sniper Elite is a shooter, it's primarily a stealth game. Much of the gameplay is sneaking around to pick off enemies from a distance with your trusty sniper rifle, hence the name obviously. You can hold one automatic weapon at a time to use when multiple enemies get close to you. In such cases, movement and shooting are a lot like the Conflict Desert Storm games, except you're aiming with the Wiimote. But running around like a traditional late 2000s third-person shooter is really discouraged because of how easily you can get killed, even on lower difficulty settings. So these are more reasons why the game is meant to focus on stealth, even if it's not necessarily required. As you'd expect from a World War II game, you will get to shoot down many Nazis, but because of the unique story, you'll mostly be shooting Soviet soldiers, or sneaking around to an end goal when the two armies meet on the battlefield. I've played games where your allied army gets into a big battle with the enemy so you can reach a goal with their help, but I'm not used to playing one where you're working against both sides, which means again, you've gotta be stealthy. It's actually a nice change from most war shooters, but just because you're encouraged to be stealthy doesn't mean you never blow stuff up. There are times you can use explosives to take out tanks and anti-aircraft guns. I would sometimes plant a bomb, run for cover, and snipe the bomb to blow up a tank, so it's not exclusively a stealth sniping game as one might think with the title or my earlier gameplay description. It just has more emphasis on stealth sniping. To that end, the developers made sure to add pointer aiming to this game just like other successful Wii shooters. Aiming with the Wiimote's pointer does help with accuracy, and once again, it's great for immersion, though your nerves while trying to line up a shot can make things harder. I mean, trying to get that finishing headshot while trying to avoid another soldier running at you with a blazing automatic rifle, that can easily make you nervous, thus causing you to shake more while aiming. So it's not quite as good as aiming an SMG in a 007 Wii game. The nerve-wracking aiming and aggressive enemies can make this game harder than you might think, but saving at any time really helps with that, even though saves are limited for each level. Of course, you can also easily customize the difficulty with options that even include how big of an explosion grenades have. Plus, you can play all these levels locally on 2-player co-op, so you and a friend can win World War II all by yourselves. Yay! The Wii version is available for pretty decent prices in most places where the used copies are being sold, anywhere from $10 to $30. I would say this makes the game worth picking up for your Wii, but there are 3 other Sniper Elite games that are all available for the Switch, games that I will get around to reviewing soon. It helps that the Switch 2 is backwards compatible. So if you find a cheap used copy of this for your Wii, great! Otherwise, hopefully this was at least a good look at where the franchise started. And that's my review of Sniper Elite for the Wii. To help me produce more videos like this, please support my Patreon page. Special thanks to my current patrons here. Remember that supporting my Patreon gives the name of the credits and access to my main videos a day early. Also be sure to check out my previous reviews of Conflict Desert Storm 2 Back to Baghdad for the GameCube, and Zombie Army 4 Dead War for the Switch. See you all next time!